Some incredible athletes just can't have it all. How many legends have had their greatness wasted away by playing on awful teams? Barry Sanders ran all those yards with the putrid Detroit Lions. Karl Malone would have won a ring if he knew when it was time to leave the Jazz years before he actually did. There are many great stars we're enjoying today who we don't want to see waste their talents while stuck in a no man's land. I'm Justin Fraction, and today we dive into 10 sports stars who need a change of scenery. And a big shout out to Not a Cringe channel, who I had an awesome discussion with. And stay tuned, we have all sorts of new programming coming to the Total Pro Sports YouTube channel. And now back to the video. Number 10, Blake Griffin. Griffin and Chris Paul have formed one of the NBA's most explosive dynamic duels. What do they have to show for it? 3 first-round playoff series victories, that's all. Griffin has been clashing with management behind the scenes, and his team just doesn't have what it takes to get over the hump. Griffin is now 27 years old and only has so many prime years left. This guy is running out of chances to add championships to an otherwise impressive career. It may be smart to go elsewhere because the Clippers aren't going to take him to the promised land. Number 9, DeMarcus Cousins. The two-time NBA All-Star hasn't drawn the same level of attention as some of the league's other megastars. That's life when your Sacramento Kings are contending for the lottery pick every year and coming nowhere close to a playoff spot. Over his last 3 seasons, Cousins has averaged more than 22 points per game, while registering double-digit rebounds. But really, why spend all this time with the Kings? Cousins deserves to go to a team that can actually compete for the playoffs. If he stays with the Kings, he won't know what the playoffs are like. Number 8, Joe Thomas. Thomas has been by far the most dominant offensive lineman in the NFL since his career started in 2007. The 9-time Pro Bowler, however, has had his future Hall of Fame career wasted by playing for none other than the Cleveland Browns. Thomas became the first offensive lineman to reach the Pro Bowl in each of his first 9 years. But how much longer will he stay loyal to Cleveland? Now on the wrong side of 30, Thomas only has so much gas left in the tank while in his prime. When does he finally get the chance to move on? Number 7, Nugent Hopkins. Hopkins hasn't been a bust by any means. The 2011 first overall pick of the Edmonton Oilers has 3 50-point seasons in his career, but just one 20-goal season to show for it. Part of this is because of all the rising stars in Edmonton, headlined by Connor McDavid. With so many young Oilers vying for minutes, Nugent Hopkins has become a bit of an afterthought. Edmonton doesn't need him. They have several young studs up front. Nugent Hopkins could get the chance to be an ultra superstar if he joined a new team that isn't so loaded on young guns. Number 6, Paul George. The Pacers love Paul George and vice versa, but this team is not the contender that gave LeBron James's Miami Heat serious problems during their reign of terror on the Eastern Conference. George single-handedly carried the Pacers to the playoffs in 2016 and single-handedly pushed the heavy favorite Toronto Raptors to a 7-game series. What he has done for the Pacers is nothing short of remarkable. But we don't want to see him carry this team on his own. He deserves to win now. And the Pacers aren't usually big spenders, so they probably won't give him the stars he needs. George should get a fresh start with a new team that can give him the opportunity to win now. Number 5, Drew Brees. Brees has been nothing short of outstanding during his 10 years with the New Orleans Saints. Over 30 touchdowns and 4,000 passing yards in each year he's worn the black and gold. He guided them to a Super Bowl 44 championship and has been the heart and soul leader of this squad. But come on, the guy is always among the league's top quarterbacks. And how does the team repay him? By having either the worst or second worst defense in the NFL. Brees is approaching 40 years of age. The Saints' defense consistently ruins everything Brees does for them on offense. We'd love to see him go to a team with some talent on defense that could help him win 1 or 2 more titles. He can only stay loyal for so long. Number 4, Wayne Rooney. For over a decade, when somebody first mentioned Manchester United to you, Wayne Rooney was probably the name that always came to mind. Rooney has been the best soccer player out of England for a long time, but age is catching up to him. Many faithful Man U fans are booing and heckling him. They don't see him as someone earning their money, and they certainly don't think he's the leader anymore. Rooney deserves to have a better send-off. Maybe a new place where players aren't scrutinized every game would help him finish out his twilight years. Number 3, Zack Greinke. Greinke bailed on the Los Angeles Dodgers and signed an insane 6-year deal with the Arizona Diamondbacks worth $206.5 million. He compiled a 51-15 record with the Dodgers in 3 seasons. His ERA in each of those years, 2.63, 2.71, and 1.66. Then he opted out to join the D-backs. How did that go in year 1? 13-7 with a 4.37 ERA. Solid, but not Greinke-like. Arizona would surely like to get out of this contract, and the Dodgers would surely love to have him back. Match made in heaven, no? Number 2, Mike Trout. Trout is the best player in baseball, no question about it. He's a sure bet for over 30 homers and a batting average above 300 every year. Going back to 2012, his wins above replacement has been no lower than 7.9. That is insanely awesome for you non-baseball fans. But Trout's Angels have made the playoffs just once in his tenure, and they're usually among the worst teams in the AL West. So here's our proposition. Trade Trout, who deserves to be on a great team, and bring in a king's ransom of prospects in return. Trout's not getting the attention of Bryce Harper simply because he's not on a winning team. Poor guy. And number 1, Tony Romo. Well, we didn't exactly see this coming until September 2016 rolled around. Love him or hate him, Romo's been a huge success with the Dallas Cowboys. Never mind having just 2 career playoff wins. He's the Cowboys' all-time leader in touchdowns and passing yards. The only reason people don't view Romo as elite is because he's on the Cowboys. And A, everyone hates the Cowboys. And B, the Cowboys expect to win the Super Bowl every year. Dak Prescott looked just as good as Romo while the latter was injured to start the 2016 season. Prescott is also 13 years younger. Romo may no longer be needed in Dallas, and he could flourish in a non-crazy market like Cleveland. Believe it or not, Romo needs to go. Which superstar do you think needs to leave their current team ASAP? Join us in the comments below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps us out a ton and we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to Total Pro Sports though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.